And welcome to episode 34 of my WoT Tanks Replays, where we watch me play one of my least favorite tanks in the game, the AMX 13F3. This vehicle usually hates me, and I usually hate it, as it never hits the target. Such is not as much the case in this game, though, which is why I'm showing it to you. I wouldn't show you a game that's, well, maybe if it was painfully bad enough it might be entertaining, but bad games are usually not entertaining. So, let's get started. We're here on Westfield. Interior game with a bunch of Arty. Most importantly, on the other team, there are two FV304s. So just keep that in mind because they are very accurate and are very good at counter battery when they're within range. So we're just going to go over here and set up and get ready to maybe hit things when we bombard them by shooting at them from a distance. Yay, the life of artillery. Now, the problem with the AMX 13F3 is rooted in one thing. The gun nominally isn't very inaccurate. The aiming time isn't very bad. It's the fact that the gun has too much range. Yes, it has too much range. You will never go onto a map and not be able to fire anywhere on the map. What this means is that your shot flight, whatever you want to call it, your dispersion, will always be very elliptical. And while that shot did hit, that was the most aimed you can get with this thing usually, and that was actually a very far target. So when you're shooting at anything 600 meters or closer, your dispersion is so elliptical that you usually just won't hit things. You'll go too far, you'll go too short. And speaking of the arc, it isn't terribly good either, so that's kind of a problem for this thing. I kind of want them to nerf the range so that it isn't super range. It only needs to be sufficient to cover the map. It's like twice the size of the map. But of course, as always, artillery will eat Stir meals, so we ate him alive with a one-shot. So that's nice enough. So just starting out as a normal artillery game, though I am getting luckier with the shots and have already done probably 1,200-ish damage. So that's nice. ISU is a priority. We would like to take him out. If he's moving, I'm not sure I want to take the shot, though. As you see, once we get out to a 1,000-meter range, we start to become more circular, but usually you won't be shooting things all the way out that far. That's basically the size of the largest maps, is about 1,000 meters. So unless you're shooting at a complete diagonal or you're shooting straight across the map like I am right now, usually your shot won't be terribly accurate. Once again, I'm just going to hover over this area. As much as there are other things lit up, I don't want to stray too much from that area over there because the ISU is a very big factor here. We're going to see if this 5100 exposes himself, because I can do quite a bit of damage to him having no armor. And there's the ISU. And he disappears right before. And of course our IS-6 is complaining because he thinks that Arty should always hit the target and should aim in 1.5 seconds. That shot appears to hit nothing, just knocks over the tree, makes a big explosion on the ground. IS-6 is still going. I say, I'm sorry, we aim dirt slow, and that's honestly the truth. You can't always just say, oh, Arty, you suck, you didn't help me out when I was being swarmed by 5 AMX 1390s. Well, we can't hit 1390s, and we might have been looking at the other side of the map. It takes us a while to re-aim. And we throw one into the 110 for 300 damage, tracking him, but that northern side is now completely obliterated. And guess what? They are going to charge down here into our faces and kill us. So let's do something about that. The one thing the AMX 13 has going for it is that it is most certainly an AMX 13. It is on a light tank chassis and it speeds around like a light tank. So as you see, going 60 here, we are just going to try to go up into the valley and hide. Make things come into very close quarters situations before they can actually engage us. Lorraine looks like he has the same idea. He's hugging the cliffs. We're getting some supporting fire from that heavy and tank destroyer back behind us. And they do manage to take the DW Panther takes out the 110. ISU's coming around. He's tunnel visioning on the Lorraine, but I don't really have much gun depression. So we'll move forward a second, and thankfully our tank destroyer takes him out. E25, he's about to kill me. I need to take the shot. Oh, and it hits. 6 health left. So I cannot take any hit in any form, including splash damage, from those FV304s that are conveniently still alive. So right now, our assets left are a glass cannon, an IS who decides he needed to snipe, a T-71 who's getting circled and is going to die, and a GW Panther, and myself. But I am not terribly much use. When I don't know where anything is, I can be attacked at any second and be one-shotted. So I'm just going to try to nest myself in here and maybe see if I can lob some shots all the way over the other side. But it appears that I do not have the gun depression nor the arc of fire to make it over there. So we'll move up a little more, see what we can do. And yep, there we go. T-28 prototype. That's why I feared of going up onto this plateau. Now, I'm not in a terribly good position because I don't necessarily want to back down from here, because I am a spotting asset right here. But at the same time, I know that if I stay still for too long, those FV304s could probably get into position and put some accurate fire, or inaccurate fire would work too, and knock me out. And unfortunately, their 5100 is now circling around the back. But I can't worry about that. That's not something I have the time to worry about. The RHM thankfully takes him out, so our flank is now secure. His T-28 prototype is sitting up there, and oh, he's getting real close, and he's most certainly spotted me with auto detect. So now there's the FV304s I have to worry about. One of the FV304s spotted over there. He's probably on the cusp of his range, maybe out of range. And even though this T-28 prototype is spotting me, it doesn't look like yet. Oh, there we go. First shot. First shot from the FV304s coming down, and there's honestly not much I can do here. If this T-28 doesn't want to come over, he doesn't want to come over. And I can't go up to him, and retreating, who knows, the FV304 could be down in the valley, and I am spotting this guy once again, and it's good to keep this guy lit. I'm trying to just move back and forth to prevent being hit by Artie, at the same time trying to draw this T-28 prototype out of his little hiding spot there. Maybe that RHM could sneak up while I am sitting here baiting the T-28 prototype. T-28 starts to make a move. I still don't have a shot at him. Ooh, RHM throws one into him. He's a little distracted now. He seems to think that the RHM is more important, and that was right. RHM takes him out, so now it's the 3 of us versus the 2 FV304s. RHM having a great game here. The IS is over by Cap, trying to find the FV304s. And he most certainly found one of them. So we're going to head up into the middle and try to support that IS. And maybe root out these FV304s, since they appear to, I would guess they are both in the middle of the map. I'm going to see if I have arc of fire at this guy. I do not. he plants a shot into our IS because, as you probably know, the FV304 is very good in tank destroyer mode. And let me reset Bandicam. Record. And so, yeah, we're going to hop over this ridge and see what we can find. Once again, FV304 spotted it, and he takes our IS out. So, we have two excellent, fast, speedy, very good tank destroyer mode artillery FV304s versus a 6 health AMX 13 with dirt accuracy and an 11% 118 health glass cannon. This is going to be difficult. So I'm going to push up through here. And honestly, I should probably go first because if I die, it is less of a problem. FV304 comes through, but I am actually hidden behind this wall right here. So we just need to keep these guys distracted for the moment, as neither of them really has a shot because as much they have arc, they can't do much, and RHM takes that guy out through the wall. Him having armor-piercing shells, he's able to go right through that wall, whereas the FV304 did not have that privilege with his high explosive shells only. FV304 tries to charge around to the RHM, but he's prepared, and now this is where we want him. He now has to make a choice as to firing at one person. Oh, and he chooses me, and he finds some 155 howitzer to the face. So that was a very fun game. That actually got up on my nerves a little bit when I was playing. It was very, very tense, as we did not have a lot of health to spare at the end there. So that was a very good game. I had fun playing in my AMX 13F3, which is a little bit of a rarity because I do not enjoy the machine much. Let's go on to the after action report to show you a breakdown of how we actually did. And welcome to the after action report, where quickly skimming over we can see that I got a mastery class badge along with 3,350 experience, 54,570 credits by doing 371 damage to the 110, 429 to the Tiger 2, 194 to the T-28 prototype, 291 to that E-25, 850 on a one-shot to the Panzer Swaffel 5, aka Stir Emil, and 280 to the FV304, along with a bunch of critical hits tracking the 110, damaging the track of the ISU, damaging the track of the T-28 prototype, destroying the track of the E-25, knocking out the engine, or damaging the engine and destroying the track of the Stir Emil, and damaging the radio and track of the FV304, along with just various spotting damages. Most significantly, 493 to the T-28 prototype and 280 to the FV304 at the end. So moving on to the team score, we see that that gave me a nice 2,415 damage, which isn't a terribly ridiculous amount, but it is quite a fair amount for a tier 6, let alone artillery, which at this tier tends to do less damage than their tank counterparts at higher tiers. Artillery tends to do more damage, but at this tier it tends to be a little less, so I was impressed enough with that, especially in a tier 8 game, picking up 3 kills and 1,117 base experience. Part of this experience is due to the fact that a lot of this was done in a direct fire or within my spotting range capacity, as you only get half experience and credits for things done outside of your spotting range, which is why artillery usually struggles to gather a lot of experience. Over in the detailed report, we see I fired 7 shots, 5 of which hit, and 2 of which splashed. That is not something that usually happens to me. I usually fire 7 shots, get 4 no damage splash, and no hits. But this game, the gun was behaving well, and I did the appropriate amount of damage for the amount of hits I got, and of course I received 2 hits, and they both penned. Not a surprise. And also, we spotted 1 vehicle, damaged 7, and destroyed 3, with 880 spotting damage on the side. all in all, with a little bonuses and some premium help, we got a nice 81,000 credits in profit out of this game. As you see, even if you subtract out the 38,000 with the standard account, you would still get a nice profit, as this is a tier 6, and there's no exception with artillery. Tier 6 artillery do make nice profits, just like their tier 6 tank equivalents. So that was a pretty entertaining game, I thought, in the AMX 13F3, it being a little nicer to me than usual, and a nice tense clutch situation at the end there. So until next time, guys, I will see you then. Goodbye.